Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Malone's Record Service Eric Tilson Show, where we cover everything on the Tundra with the North Greene Husky football team. As always, I'm joined here with head coach Eric Tilson, or Eric Taylor, as I should call you, as it said in our article this week.
Eric Taylor. Like I said, we'd be undefeated with Coach Eric Taylor.
Let's talk about some football a little bit. Getting down to the last few weeks of the season, had a tough contest this past Friday night. It was against Happy Valley, a team that you knew coming in was going to pound the football. And that's exactly what they did with Sowers. It was senior night on the Tundra also. How cool of a night was that?
The result didn't end up like we wanted to, but Sowers is a grown man.
Yeah.
He's as good as runner as we've seen all year, which we knew that, and we knew we just had to chop the tree down. I thought our defense played pretty well early, but over time when you're playing again, it's kind of like a boxing match. When you take a bunch of body shots, then all of a sudden
you start going down.
So, and that's what they did. They just kept chipping away. That's why we knew we had to get them early, which we did. But we also gifted them some points early. Miscue on special teams when we should have caught the return. Brought the ball down and then given up a safety there. Is not a good way to start it. And then our defense came back and got another stop and kind of playing that chess game from there. So, but credit to Happy Valley, they're a good football team. They've tremendously improved over the course of the year, and known that staff for a long time, and knew they've been good before, and they can do it again. So, but like to get to a point where we're able to compete and like win those type of games, and that'll give us some confidence going into the playoffs, which. Seeing good teams like that, you want to see it. I mean, we're not scared to go out and go play teams, so it's but it's good to see that type of caliber team.
They're a red hot team right now too.
Yes,
I think they're on a winning streak of 6 in a row now after losing 3 straight to start the season.
You know what the difference is? 34.
Correct. I mean, they lost to Hampton, and I think they just said after that, look, let's just steal Hampton's playbook and turn it into ours, start running the same exact formations and plays.
Now, Happy Valley make you line it up a little more. They run a bunch of unbalanced stuff, and they'll go into quads, they'll go into tight end trips, so they're a little bit they're doing power football like Hampton, but it's completely different.
And it's crazy to see how much they've turned their season around too, but credit to them, great football team as you mentioned. You were able to get through their defense twice during the game and score 2 touchdowns. Good thing is they were both seniors on senior night. You had Colton Robbins get in from 27 yards out, and then Nick Mitchell from 25 yards out, which I think is his first touchdown on the year, and it came on senior night too. Talk about both of those touchdown plays and both of those drives that led up to that.
Well, starting off after a miscue on the first drive, we forced a 4 and out, and then next drive we start getting hot through the passing game. Teams are going to load the box on us. We know that. We still should be able to run the ball, but those big chunk plays, throwing to wide open dudes, really help. So Colton's one of those guys that he can catch, and he's got good yards after catch. And he's trying to make a second effort, which he did twice, one on the completion and then turn around on the touchdown. Just got to tell him to protect the football a little bit more, because the ball comes out. Luckily, ball dropped, bounced right back on top of it, so able to get a good score there to go up. And then it felt like an eternity later, we finally get back on the board late in the game. So, but it's cool to have a senior go out and go finish his career out here at home with a touchdown like that.
What led to Nick's touchdown also later in the game?
Just saw a matchup and throw it to him. And seniors like that, they deserve an opportunity like that to kind of finish their career off.
And then Yeshua too. It was kind of a quiet night for him. Only 11 carries for 45 yards. And I think you're starting to see a lot of teams now understand that we have to key in on him most. You've said that a lot too, that they're going to key in on him.
I'm surprised it's taking this long.
And load the box. And I think you're starting to see that a lot more, where people are starting to send people through the gaps to find him whenever he's running the ball. And credit to him, because he's still getting a lot of yards after contact, because he doesn't give up on that first hit.
Well, 11 carries don't seem like a whole lot. And then I go back and look, we had 24 snaps on offense, period.
Wow, so, that was it?
That was it. So we have to do a better job on first down. Winning first down, we do that, help us stay out of long yardage situation, and teams that are able to convert first downs on first and second down, they tend to be highly successful on offense. We have been a very good first down team over the past few weeks, so we've got to do a better job of getting those 4 to 5 yards on first down, put us in a better situation, because when you get backed up, it takes us out of what we want to do when you're in a second 11 or you're in a second 9 type situation. So, of course, we're starting to get people back. It was nice to have those guys back against Happy Valley, but it's like you haven't played football in a while, so you got some of that going on. We're still getting adjusted back to playing football again too.
Reading the offensive stats, it kind of makes more sense now, because you said you only had 24 offensive plays the whole entire game. 11 of those were carries from Yeshua, and then Thomas only had 8 pass attempts. So that's only 19 plays, and I didn't realize until you just said it, but it makes a lot more sense now why you didn't have as many carries, as many passes with your 2 main players on offense.
I mean, Yeshua still takes a brunt of our workload, but when you have 24 total plays, that's typically what you get in a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
So,
with a team like Happy Valley, they're going to pound the football, and the clock's just going to continue to run.
They had a 10-minute drive at one point in the game. I don't remember if it was in the first quarter or the second quarter, but that took a big chunk out. So I think we had a total of 3 possessions.
Wow.
The first half, so we didn't get a whole lot of opportunities, and one of those being our sack. Not sack, it was a sack, it was a handoff, quarterback read, but our safety. So one of those, so not a whole lot of opportunities offensively, and that's credit best defense is good offense, and they did a good job there. And then I thought our defense played pretty well there in the first half. Then we give up cheap 2 points, and then make it 10. They sustained a pretty good drive next, so they scored a legitimate 7, like 8. They earned every bit of it, and then that last one we give them a cheap touchdown with a second left. And again, that's self-inflicted stuff. And I've had an old coach used to say it all the time: you could pretty much mark a loss for every freshman or sophomore you start, just because eventually youth comes out.
Yeah.
Like seniors, they kind of know to compose themselves, where younger guys haven't learned those lessons yet. And we learned a lesson Friday. You got to keep your mouth shut, or you'll get a penalty, because we got 2 personal fouls in one play, which brought the play really close to their side of the field. So they were able to convert and take advantage of that. So we gave them good field position, and then so we take those plays out. A little more competitive in terms of the scoreboard, but got to give a lot of credit to Happy Valley. They came out and played well.
10-minute drive, is that the longest drive you've seen in a high school game?
It's a pretty long one. I
don't know if I've ever witnessed a 10-minute drive at a game, so if I were there, that would have probably been the longest drive that I'd ever witnessed. But it was senior night on the Tundra. You got one more game left on the season. It's a region game now, just as it is for everybody else. You'll be playing on Thursday night now. I think you said it was Region 1, or Class 1A, 3A, and 5A are all playing on Thursday. And then you get the even numbers, 2A, 4A, and 6A on Friday. It's the last week of the regular season. They'll be heading up to Cosby one more time, same as last year too. So we'll go ahead and get a break in and preview that here next on Grassroots Media.
Pizza, pancakes, or donuts, the Davy Crockett Travel Center in Baileyton has the cure for all your cravings. While you're there, shop our general store for souvenirs, gifts, and cellular accessories. In a hurry, grab a cold drink and a hot dog to go. Check us out on Facebook and come to Baileyton.
At Corner Pond, the friendly and knowledgeable staff has the experience necessary to help you out regardless the need. Have an item of value you'd like to pawn or sell? Corner Pond can help. They pawn numerous items of value, including firearms, tools, ammunition, silver, coins, and much more. When you walk through their doors, you'll find well-stocked shelves full of electronics, gaming systems, fishing and hunting equipment, car audio and accessories. And don't forget about the room full of guitars and basses and amplifiers, or their outside lawn and garden equipment. Corner Pond is a case knife dealer and carries numerous used knives as well. Stop by and let the friendly staff at Corner Pond help you today at 432 East Bernard Avenue, Greenville, Tennessee.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media, and welcome back to this week's edition of the Malone's Record Service Eric Tilson Show, where we cover everything on the Tundra with the Huskies football team. As always, I'm joined here with North Greene head coach Eric Tilson. So you got one more regular season game this year. You go on the road to Cosby for the second year in a row now, as it was up there last year. Playing the Eagles again on their home turf. What do you expect going into this Friday night's matchup?
They've always been a hard-nosed team. They've struggled a little bit this year, struggled to find an identity. They've got a couple playmakers in skill positions. Number 6, guy they like to get the ball to, whether he's out at receiver or he plays quarterback. He's a kid they like to get the ball to. They're going to spread it out. They're going to be in 2x2, 3x1 sets. They'll go to some empty. They'll run a lot of zone, and they'll run the ball with the quarterback quite a bit. And quarterback sweep left, quarterback sweep right, and they throw a lot of screens. So defensively, it kind of matches up to what we defend pretty well. So we feel pretty confident in terms of schematically. We assume we'll see something they haven't shown all year for this game, which that's a good thing about our defense. It's simple. And we can adjust to almost anything without really changing a whole lot. So that is the positive part there. And then offensively, they run similar defense to ours, so it's kind of like going out. Going out in practice. So kind of nice when everything's pretty similar. They'll plug more gaps. They may bump the front over, kind of like what we've seen all year. So that's what I imagine. But if we continue to throw the ball well, then that really opens things up because people start getting worried about Colton Robbins coming down the intermediate route or Grayson Collins going deep or Jake Duffy catching the screen. It starts opening up the box a little bit for us to be able to run the ball. So we've got to execute when those times come.
This game has some playoff implications still, too. I think you have to win this game to get locked into the 3 seed. If you do lose, I think you would have to have UNACO win also for you to slip back to the 4 seed. But regardless, I think you still control your own destiny.
If we take care of business, we'll be the 3 seed and more than likely go to Oliver Springs. As right now, it's either Oliver Springs or Coalfield. Rockwood beats Coalfield, then Coalfield goes to the 2. We're pretty familiar with that trip. Oliver Springs is pretty familiar. We have to drop by Oliver Springs to get to Coalfield, so we've drove by there a few times. So we're going basically the same place.
Yeah, it's
in the playoffs,
the same area.
But 2 completely different teams. But this we take care of business Thursday night, then we'll get locked in the 3 seed, which it's a lot better than being a 4.
I guess we'll come in next week and talk about that a little bit because things are still up in the air for both regions at this point right now. But as always, too, we talked about the offense and defense. End of every interview, ask your favorite question. You got 3 keys to success you need to carry out. Are they the same this week, or have they switched up any?
Well, they're going to have to change because Coach Eric Taylor's show, we got to be clear eyes, full heart. Can't lose.
Is that it right there?
Oh, yeah. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Eric Taylor
there we go.
Show right there.
There's your 3 keys. I think that's all we've got. The Huskies are traveling up to Cosby to play the Eagles this Friday night for their last regular season game of the season before the playoffs. Coach, that's all I've got for you this week. Appreciate you sitting down with me. Thank you all for watching this week's edition of the Malone's Record Service Eric Tilson Show. Look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.